What up, people? My name is Batman, and today I want to talk about everybody's favorite thing in the whole entire world, your KD on Call of Duty. This is a gameplay I got the other day against a full party of honorable warriors who I believe were on a win streak, and they really wanted to win. They fought bitterly till the very end, and to be honest, at halftime I thought they were going to rage quit, but they didn't, and I give them props for that. They did give it their all. But in the end, they lost. Because these guys made a very common mistake that I think a lot of players make. They thought that if they just played the objective as hard as they could, they would win. Now, part of that misguided strategy stemmed from the fact that they were counting on strength and numbers to prevail, which by itself is a sound plan, but the other part of that strategy was based on this idea that if you do play the objective as hard as you can, your KD does not matter. And that's simply not true. KD does matter. At the end of this match, the enemy team had 34 flag caps. My team had about 12, and like half of those were just capping the home flag. But we still won because we won the gunfights. And the easiest way to understand it is to realize that KD is map control. And in the end, every single game mode comes down to map control. These guys could cap a flag, but they couldn't hold it. As soon as they capped, they would just get massacred and we would take the flag back. And you know, I hear all the time, and I'm sure you have too, someone saying something like, KD doesn't matter, this isn't team deathmatch. Or, I don't care about my KD, I just play to win. Well, if you really want to win, you have to accept that the amount of people you kill and the amount of people that kill you plays a significant role in deciding who wins the match. Because like I said, KD is map control. If you and a bad guy walk into a room and you kill his ass, you control that room. Now, if that room has the hard point in it, awesome. That gunfight just got your team a little closer to winning. Maybe it overlooks the B flag, which means bad guys can't use it to defend B, or vice versa, your team can. If your team is battling the enemy team in the bottom deck boiler room and hijacked, whichever team wins the most gunfights will own that room, that portion of the map, whatever portion of whatever map, wherever it may be. Every gunfight you win, you are gaining some amount of map control. And this is very, very important because every single objective-based game mode ever comes down to map control. It's just different sections and sizes of the map at different times. The goal in domination is to control at least 2/3 of the map for a majority of the match. In hardpoint or headquarters, the goal is to have map control over a very, very small and roaming section of the map for longer than your enemy does. In demolition, you're fighting for map control of 2 areas, and then you have to maintain map control of each of those areas for 30 seconds after planting the bomb. Capture the flag is about having control of your own spawn while also controlling a route to and from the enemy spawn for which the flag carrier can travel. These guys played the objective really hard, but at no point in this match did they have a majority of the map control, and that's why they lost. And the other thing is score streaks. Like, even if map control didn't matter in objective game mode, score streaks alone would be a good enough reason to care about KD, because high score streaks win games. You know, think about a swarm. A swarm is basically guaranteed 100% map control for the 30 or 45 seconds that the swarm lasts. And if I had swarm on this match, I think I would have gotten like a double swarm, and no matter how hard you play the objective, a double swarm wins every game. And when the enemy team plays the way these guys are playing right now, where they just Rambo into the B flag again and again, basically committing suicide and giving away free kills, it's very easy to get double swarms, and it happens a lot. And I love it when it's the bad guys playing that way, but what sucks ass is when those guys are on your team, because eventually you just get overrun by score streaks. And because competitive matchmaking likes to, it has to balance the teams, I get put with these kind of teams frequently. You know, these teams that, bless their heart, they love to play the objective, but boy do they give away a lot of score streaks, a lot of free kills. Now, to be fair, I did have a lag advantage in this match, and, I still don't understand how the game chooses who's going to lag. The only thing I think that I know for sure is that if I'm host, I'm screwed, but fortunately I don't get host that often. But outside of that, there's no rhyme or reason. And what I think happened to these guys is they were a full party, and the competitive matchmaking fucking hates full parties. So it put them against me and a couple of other randoms on my team who also had 2 KDs, I believe, which by itself is fair. Like, if you're going to run a full party, I do think you should be stacked up against stronger randoms. But the problem with competitive matchmaking is if it can't find really good players in your region, it's going to put you up against anyone in the world that has a 2 KD. And the farther away you are, the worse you will lag. And these guys got screwed. And they even sent me messages afterwards bitching about connection. And I empathize with them because I know how frustrating the competitive matchmaking gets. Like, I've been there. I'm there all the time. I prefer to play alone, but whenever I do play with other people, we inevitably end up getting paired with guys from Europe. And I think it's like the longer you go on a win streak with a team, the harder and harder the competitive matchmaking system will try to end it. Or maybe I'm just being paranoid, but that's really how it feels. So Granted, if this match hadn't been lagging in my favor, it probably wouldn't have been 78-7. Probably would have been more like, 3 KD, maybe 45 kills, 15 deaths. But I wanted to use this match because it does show very clearly how hopeless it is to play the way these guys did. Just keep count of how many times you see 2 or 3 of them at a time run out onto the flag without any concern whatsoever for what's going on around them. I'll be 10 feet from the B flag, have full map control of the area, and they will run right out in front of me and jump on the flag and die again and again and again. And it's like they didn't learn the lesson either. They had this idea that their perseverance would overcome basic logic, and it didn't work out. The idea is you're supposed to gain map control and then grab the flag, not the other way around. And so that's just some advice I had for you guys that'll perhaps modestly improve your game in minor ways. And looking at the game through the lens of who has control of the map in general is a good way to develop more effective winning strategies in Call of Duty. And so I just thought I would bring that to your guys' attention. Please remember to rate the video. Follow me on Twitter. I want to tweet my sweet tweet sauce on your face. This is Batman signing out.